In LA, which is not a part of his district, Chris is there, and I hope you will support him because we desperately need his leadership. I'm running to be your next insurance commissioner, and like Chris, let me take a moment to explain what that job does. Now, just think about it for a moment, how important insurance is in all of our lives. We insure our homes. We're supposed to insure our cars. Everybody here have car insurance? Don't tell me if you don't. If we're fortunate, we have life insurance. If we're one of the really fortunate Californians, not the 6.7 million who don't have health insurance, we have health insurance. If we have a business, we insure our business, and on and on and on. It touches each and every aspect of our lives here in California. And yet, in far too many cases, we pay for that insurance month after month, year after year, only to find out when we're sick or we're injured or we have an accident or our home suffers some sort of disaster, that we end up in a fight with the insurance company to make good on the promise that they made us. The job of the insurance commissioner is to make sure that the industry is held accountable, to make sure they follow through on those promises, to make sure they make good on those promises, and to stand up for consumers. Very simple. Now, right now, the office is held by Steve Poizner, who has basically been using it to run for governor for the past 3 years. And I think it's time to take that office back, put it in the hands of a Democrat who will be a strong, strong consumer advocate. Now, I've been a legal aid lawyer for 6 years. I've stood up to very, very wealthy interests. I've done that as a city council member, fighting for a living wage, fighting for the right, assisting unions with the right to collectively bargain, fought very, very hard for affordable housing, for environmental protection. And as Assembly member, I've chaired the Judiciary Committee and the Health Committee, all positions where I've been a leading advocate for reform. And I want to take that same passion for reform, passion for accountability, and passion to protect consumers into the Insurance Commissioner's office. Now let me just see by a show of hands, how many people here think health care ought to be a right? Well, I thought so. A big part of my candidacy is to fight for single-payer universal health care reform. It just simply should not be the case that people have to bankrupt themselves to get health care. We have 6.7 million Californians without health insurance. We have 2 million Californians who buy insurance on the individual health care market, who oftentimes are underinsured, have huge out-of-pocket expenses to pay when they do actually make a claim on that insurance, and oftentimes don't know fully what they have. Let me just share with you one story, something that stuck in my mind. That's the story of Susan Brake, a woman that I met as the chair of the Health Committee at a hearing a couple months ago. Susan wasn't able to get insurance through her employer, so she went out and bought an insurance product on the individual market, like 2 million Californians do. She was told this would be a comprehensive product, that it would cover all chronic illnesses and diseases. She paid for that insurance month after month, year after year, only to discover that she had cancer, breast cancer. She went in to try to get health treatment. Turns out that 75% of treatment for breast cancer is outpatient. The policy she had was comprehensive, but it was hospital only, something nobody told her. So it didn't cover her breast cancer treatment, and she ended up with $70,000 in bills that bankrupted her. This is not a unique story. As I travel across California, I hear these stories time and time again of people who don't have insurance and end up bankrupt, end up not getting the care that they need, or even if they do have insurance, the insurance doesn't cover them. And I want to build a movement for single-payer universal health care reform here in California and across the United States. Now, while we're building that movement, though, we do have an opportunity to do something that's not perfect and not ideal, but that's very good. And that is to embrace the very, very important Obamacare program that has a robust public plan in it that allows people to have real choice. I mean, who here thinks that all Californians and all Americans ought to be able to get the same health care that Tom McClintock gets? For example, or Dan Loeb for that matter. I mean, if it's good enough for them, why is it good enough for everybody else? Now, we're going to need your help, and I'm so glad that the Central Committee and its leadership are mobilizing around these town halls, because I don't know if you're like me, but I've been watching some of them on TV, and to see individuals get up and say, by golly, Congressman or Congresswoman, don't let the government get involved in my Medicare. Doesn't it just drive you crazy? Doesn't it drive you nuts? And then the congressperson, Democrat, says, well, you know, Medicare actually is a government program. Oh, no, it's not. It works really well. It can't possibly be a government program. Well, we have a lot of education to do. And some people are just not going to get it. They're never going to get it. Some amount of this is being driven by the insurance companies, and others stand to benefit from the status quo. But a part of it is we need to get engaged as well and make sure people understand that all we're really talking about is taking well-proven, well-working programs like Medicare and essentially making that available to everybody so that people don't have to do without. So people like Susan don't have to bankrupt themselves in order to get something that is a human right. So I hope you'll join me in that fight. I hope you'll join me on my candidacy. I'm very pleased to have been getting a lot of support across the state of California. I'm pleased to have the support of our Senate President Darrell Steinberg, our Controller John Chung, Charlie Brown, candidate for Congress has endorsed me, and others up and down the state. I need your help. I have two volunteers here this morning. Let me identify them. Judy right over here with the camera. And Eileen, where are you? Right over here. Who are helping me by collecting contact information. We'd love to get your contact information. If you're not ready to endorse yet, that's fine. You don't have to check that box, but if we can get your name, address, and email address so we can keep you apprised of the campaign, we'd love to do that. And I'd love to earn your support. As I tell you what I'm doing, hopefully I will have your support. I'm delighted to have the support of some of you here already. And let me just end on a final note. I am so ecstatic about the future because of what happened just a few months ago in electing the first African-American president of the United States. The engagement of Democrats in this county. I mean, we're only a couple thousand votes short of actually matching Republicans with registration. Obama took this county, I understand. Yes. Fantastic. And so did Charlie. So you have a great future. We have a great future working together. And also, I'm just really, really, really elated to see young people like Judy and Eileen get involved. And let me tell you something about them. They are both interested in going into social work. Judy just finished her undergraduate degree in social work, and Eileen just finished her master's in social work. And I think in this day and age, when we continue to need people who are willing to get involved and make a difference and help people in need, I'm delighted we have young people willing to do so. Thank you very, very much.